straighter on the outside, and then move your hips up underneath me. Because again, his hips are almost kind of flatten out behind. So as he goes straight ahead, just keep a feel on your outside rein. He can have a little flexion to the inside. Yep, send him up. So his head is a distraction, and that's what you have to say to him is, I need you to move your hips up underneath, out into the reins. Yep, and he's still pulling. Yep. Straighter on that left because his nose is almost off the track. Yes, and now say keep your hips moving. Even a little straighter on the left. Yep, say come on, keep your hips moving. One more time all the way around, just again to see if you, yep, get him up underneath. There you go. And it's not that I don't want him not flex right at all, but he's got to be straight on the left to flex to the right. Yep, keep sending him and say, you got to let me use the reins and keep going for me. Yep, little straighter, but keep flexion idea. Yep, say keep your hips moving. Keep your hips moving. Better. Yep, keep them moving. Yep, now change directions. Yep, if you touch him with the stick, say your hips have to move. They're starting to, which is why you get moments where he, stops throwing his head around and then he ends up fine. Yep, keep coming. Better. Yep, keep coming. So he doesn't now have to go any faster or longer. He could a little, but he just has to get more motion through his hips, more movement. And say, hey, when I use the reins to help you, keep moving. Yep, bring him with your hips. Think of his hips and your hips together. Yes. Better. And then keep just a little weight on your right seat bone, but keep your hips moving his as you go through the corners. Then you can use your left rein. Better, and change directions. So even though he's slower, he still has some motion with his hip, right? Yep, better. So now you keep just a little outside seat bone and say not too much. Yep. Better. Stay up there. Stay up there, good. Now see if you can increase his tempo a little, but keep his hips moving. So you gotta, yes, there you go. Now he's underneath you. So see if you can go through the short side and change directions with him with that tempo and under you. Yep, good correction. Yep, stay right up here, outside seat bone, so you can use your inside rein and say don't lose the motion of your hips. Yep, keep telling him, even if he ends up cantering, I don't care until he does it. There you go. And now ask him more from your seat than anything to walk. And still have motion in the walk. Yep. So because he's doing a good job, we'll let him just walk a little farther down the long side and then go right back to the trot with him. And again, it's not about sitting down hard and heavy. It's about having that motion that says lift up underneath me and go towards your ears. Good boy. Exactly. Good boy, even if he canters. So again, right away, say, I got to give you room for your back to come under here, and then I'll bump you under. Do one circle. You videoing this?
Mm-hmm.
How obnoxious with me sitting here yelling.
We'll get good commentary on this.
Yep, do one more circle. Exactly, he needed just a little more crisp tempo. So now find your outside seat bone. Yep, just a little bit of range. Say stay tempo, keep your hips moving. Better, and now ask him to canter. And again, think your seat does it, exactly. And again, it's your seat that brings him along, but bump him a little and say, you're still not underneath me. Move quicker. Motion with your hips, bump him and say, hey, move quicker. Yep, down the long side, say, get your butt under me. Yep, but we're not pulling, so you can use the reins to say, no, we're not doing more than the weight of the reins. Yep, and see how it's still hot? Yes, there, now his hips are moving. See the difference? And then he's straightened out. Better. Yep, keep a little inside flexion, yes. Sit close to him and say, I like you at this tempo. Now see if you can circle with him, just outside seat bone. Yep, keep your hips moving and say, just if I need to bump you with my legs, that's all. Yep, say you're starting to pull out that, exactly. So stretch up tall and say, hey, get underneath me. My hips are moving, your hips need to move. Up to the reins. Straight ahead so you can get that forwardness again. Yeah, a little flexion left. Better. There, now they're moving again. So then find a place to trot. Think shoulder 4. And you want his hips to move. Think of how you did it. Stay cantering. Think of how you did it with Tyler. So see, you braced out of that whole long side. Your hips have to move. And then ask him to trot. Your seat just says, I'm not going to, exactly, cross the diagonal. So see, your first thing was, oh, stop and hover, and then I'll pull on the reins. And he didn't come back, thank goodness. Yep, stabilize your posting. Lift him up with your hips to say, stay underneath me. Straight or left? Better. Yep, say move your hips just a little more. You know, yes. Better. And then down here, ask him to canter again. You got to keep your left side and keep that motion. Better. So circle once with him. Yeah, I like his hind end. Yep, sit on his hind end. Keep your left side. Yep. And you can always tap him with your legs as long as your seat's coming with him. Straight ahead with him. Yep, I like that hind end. Now just a little bigger canter. Yep, help him flex right, but stay straight. Left. Yep, and keep motion in his hips. He's starting to lose that because we're talking with the reins a little. Yes. Yes, right there. There you go. Now he's straight. Super, and then trot, just because your hip says come back to the trot. All right, and let him walk.